Everything was voluntary basis. Everything. Zero budget.
That's crazy. Like, it just keeps, the more I find out, the more I learn about this, the more I realize how...
And in a way, was very clever, if you allow me, because I convinced the Romanian people to fight for their dignity, not for the money. And with this, the system was changed.
And your campaign manager's office or house was raided 2 days ago?
Yeah, raided by police. Yeah.
And even here in your friend's house, there were police at the door not long ago.
Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, and with this we clarified that this doesn't exist in democracy. It was absolutely a shock violence, which we find.
I know Romania. As I said earlier, I've been to Bucharest. I have a team in Bucharest and Cluj for one of my companies. And I've always...
What we know people. We, with this situation, we expose the corruption. You understand my point? So let me put very clear this. So they canceled the election, yeah? The second round of the election was canceled illegally and unconstitutionally. The second round on December 6th, correct? By chance, the situation was fast that nobody can understand how. We didn't realize for the moment because it was a shock, for everybody. But after that, I realized that it's quite fine, because during the time after the December 6th, the corruption was exposed, and we arrived on the table a lot of things which we didn't believe before that can be possible.
It's similar with President Trump. When they started targeting President Trump, all it did was expose the law firm.
Everything was exposed like that. Exactly.
Well, here's to another level. I spoke to I even wrote it as a quote, one of my team members here in Romania before my interview with Simeon. And he said, Mario, they've been telling us, he said the following, they've been telling us for 35 years we're living in democracy, but now we see everything is fake.
Yeah, exactly this I said. Exactly like that I said. So what, the corruption was exposed, correct? Everything was a fake. In fact, it was not anymore. It was nothing. Because otherwise you can realize that the democracy is running. So justice doesn't exist. Police doesn't exist. The judges are puppets. We find. So it's absolutely, and I can guarantee to you that is a moment for the people to understand, and this I shall do for sure, to depoliticize the justice system and the secret services. For sure, I shall do that, because the political parties and the political in general is so deep involved in all the things. They destroy the country. So first, I wish to be the president of peace, exactly as I said many times. And second, to depoliticize the justice system, okay, and the secret services, for sure. The problem here in Romania is that the political things in general, the politicians, they politicize everything. Even the driver, the housekeeper,
that's even before the Soros. Yeah. So just to kind of kick off the conversation, what happened in Romania is, from what I understand, I should be addressing you right now as Mr. President, and you should be in the White House version, whatever you have here in Parliament in Romania. That's what should be happening right now. But instead, when we spoke off camera, I'm like, I want to, deep down, I want to address you as Mr. President because I think it's the right thing to do. But to be honest, we're worried to even say those words, considering how, the entire legal system is being politicized against you, and me doing this interview, I'm worried as well. So can you maybe give us an overview of what really happened in Romania? Why aren't you the president right now?
Because simply the politicians, the political, let's say, frame, they're afraid to lose the power.
And they essentially canceled the election.
And they canceled for the election, simply like that. I mean, it's exactly this was happened. And for this reason, I said that definitely I shall depoliticize the justice system and the secret services, because they didn't believe that they can lose the power. And the greed as well is huge, more than the fear. So because it's more than the fear, they act illegally.
They don't want to lose the amount of control, potentially the wealth that they
Everything
have.
is related to his money.
We're going to dig into that and who's really calling the shots. That's probably the big question that I have. We'll get to that later. So to kind of give an overview to the audience, and you can correct me if I get anything wrong, but you were essentially not expected to get more than 5% of the votes. Remind me of Trump in 2016. Nobody expected Trump to win.
Yeah.
And then no one expected, even more extreme than Trump, I think they didn't expect you to get more than 5% of the votes.
It's true.
So then you got 23%. You were the first. And then number 2 was, I think, Simeon at 20% of the votes, correct?
Correct.
Which is a common friend. So here you are as a candidate that no one thought would achieve anything. And you said it was all self-funded as well, grassroots movement.
Was grassroots movement, again.
And out of nowhere, you're in the lead for round 1. And then day 1 of round 2, which is on December 6th last year.
We started.
As soon as it started,
yeah.
I think 50,000 votes were counted.
Almost, yeah.
And the majority were
70%.
70% were for you. And when that happened, on that same day, they canceled the elections and used the Russian card.
The election, yeah.
And they called you a Russian puppet. Someone that doesn't speak, I was just spoken to your friend. You don't speak Russian, you speak English, you spent time in the US, you speak German as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, German, English,
French,
Romanian, and they choose you're a Russian puppet, which is like one of my team members said, it's like when all else fails, blame Russia.
But look, yeah, exactly. When you want to find something, you accuse Russia, and you are part of the system. But you know, the point is that all the accused and all the damage made for President Trump, it's the same. They're the same story. Just they change the name Trump with Georgescu.
Exactly.
They say exactly the same.
No, they've done worse, Mr. Georgescu. They've done worse.
Oh, yeah?
With Trump, they've painted it in a certain way, and they've used lawfare, but they didn't cancel an election.
All right.
That's why I still have hope in the U.S. political system and in the U.S. democracy. With you, they made it much worse. And I even have a comparison here. How does Trump compare to Georgescu? Trump, Russia hacked the election. Georgescu, Russia boosted his social media. Trump, non-stop media hysteria, FBI investigation, and a special counsel probe, all with no evidence. Georgescu, instant media narrative. All the media said the same thing. Intelligence reports. And an election just completely erased. That's
exactly.
It's a lot worse.
Exactly.
But I want to go back to who made that decision. Technically, you've got, I think, 9 constitutional judges.
9 judges, plus 1, the former president, Iohannis. So 10 people decide for 9 million. Like that, just simply like that.
And so they voted, hold on, didn't your rival Elena said the same thing? She was also critical of the allegations. She's your rival, is that true?
Yes, exactly. And also she, Madame Nasconi, and the former President Băsescu, they recognized a few days ago that was a political intervention.
They said it openly?
Exactly, openly, yeah, about the political intervention. In fact, we know very well that was all the Romanian people are aware that was a coup d'etat ordered from abroad and implemented here by the oligarchy system.
Let's dig into that. You're going right into it. When you say ordered from abroad, Romania is a massive democracy, 20 million people.
So from abroad does mean, first of all, the Biden administration. We know very well, and also it's absolutely official that Blinken from Biden administration was involved here. Also, European Union was involved in this process in order to stop and to cancel the elections. So everybody knows that it's not something which I give it to you.
Yeah, Blinken. There's a quote from Blinken.
Exactly. So it's just a matter of fact that they are related here with financial system and all this corruption which is here, and of course they have seen in me the person who can stop all their building.
Yeah, so Blinken was one of the first ones to publicly say that there's Russian interference. Yeah. So that's someone that has nothing to do with Romanian politics.
Of course, it's nothing to do with that. But the point is not only that. The point is that was absolutely an intervention from them, and everybody knows about that.
She says Blinken calls the Russian efforts as, quote, large in scale and well-funded.
Exactly.
Why is Blinken saying that? That's the first question. If you talk about election interference,
the most important is that the Romanian people they realize We realize, in fact, all of us, that
The system's corrupt.
exact the system
It's
is
not
corrupt.
really. It's not. Democracy is becoming an illusion.
Exactly, and it's an illusion related to what was happened all this time, because even that was just a milestone basis of democracy. Something can be changed.
They cancelled an election. Like this is the worst it could be.
And nobody make any intervention. You have to understand this. Nobody with any intervention.
Nobody is no one from the EU.
Exactly.
But one would say the EU had a role to play in this. You have Thierry. Thierry said, former EU.
Yeah. This hero already he discovered, in fact, the puppets movement in EU. Correct?
Yeah. So he said, we've got the quote here, but essentially says, "We've done it in Romania. We may need to do it in Germany."
Also in Germany as well. Yeah. Which in
he
fact
was referring to Elon's election interference, which Elon is just posting his opinion online.
Exactly.
That's called election interference. But when Soros funds certain efforts, look,
the Soros network in Romania will be banned for sure, because did a lot of damage for my country, for my people.
when you're president, you'll be banning.
In the first minute.